Hello folks, welcome back to Candace Boxing Channel. It's been quite the day, hasn't it? We've had news that Daniel Dubois was sick and he was seeing a doctor. Then we had news that he had withdrawn from his defense of his IBF heavyweight title against Joe Parker that was scheduled for this coming Saturday. And then we had news that Martin Bakole had stepped up to fill Daniel Dubois' place. So the fight will go on, but of course, it won't be for the IBF Heavyweight Championship. Firstly, there's two things that I want to be absolutely clear on. I am not slighting or casting allegations towards Daniel Dubois whatsoever. And I am absolutely showing respect to Martin Bakole for stepping up to take this fight at short notice, and massive respect to Joe Parker for taking on somebody who's been avoided, a very dangerous fighter. Even though he may not be in fight shape, he's a very big fellow that's potentially very, very dangerous. So with those things being said, I do want to ask a question. And the question is, should fans have a degree of skepticism about not just this story, but about stories like this generally? And I've thought about this quite a bit today, and I want to take it at face value. I want to believe that Daniel Dubois was in the absolute peak condition, ready to fight, and that he's been laid low by some unfortunate either viral or bacterial infection that has struck him down and made him determine, of course, in having received appropriate medical advice, that he cannot fight Joseph Parker on Saturday. And therefore he's had to very regrettably withdraw. That's what I want to believe. But it's just sort of nagging away at me that this is also very convenient. And by convenient, I mean this. The road to a Usyk rematch appears to be now wide open for Mr. Dubois to fight with Usyk without there being the hurdle of having to get through Joe Parker. I mean, I don't think anybody, even the really big fans of Dubois, would say that Joe Parker was a cream puff, that he could be just swept aside easily. I think that most people would say that, of course, Dubois was the favorite. Most people would say like there's a 65-70% chance that Dubois was going to beat Parker. But Parker was not going to just lie down. Parker was going to pose some challenges, right? And many things can go wrong. It's heavyweight boxing. Now, I had Parker to win. I mean, it was win on points, and I'd hedged it by saying that I thought, there was a strong possibility of a Dubois KO. But there's still, there's a chance, right, that Parker could have won. And some people would say there's a very, very good chance that Parker could have won. A lot of people who know boxing very, very well, people who were either boxers themselves or really in the industry, were predicting a Parker win. And there was a lot of talk about how Dubois was looking past Parker. He always had Usyk in his mind, right? We know, of course, that Dubois stormed the ring after Usyk's defeat of Fury in the Usyk-Fury rematch. And so it strikes me that, like I say, awfully convenient now that Daniel Dubois, doesn't have to go through the Parker challenge. I would like to think that this is, just me going down some sort of conspiracy theory rabbit hole, but I can't really shake the feeling. And so I was wondering, what do you all think? The people who watch my videos, the people who subscribe to my videos, the people who very kindly share their thinking on my videos. Am I out to lunch on this? Do I need to just, go for a walk and clear my head? Or do you think that there is something to this? I mean, I want to be abundantly clear on one other thing. You will read on various other YouTube and such like channels, people in comment sections saying all sorts of things about, substances or, quitting or, well, you can read them for yourself. I don't need to repeat them, right? And I'm not giving, credence to that sort of nastiness that you see out there. But I am cynical or skeptical, suspicious that this has all fallen into place sort of nicely. I mean, it seems preposterous, I know, to think, well, why would you go through such a training camp, and now you're not going to get paid and all that. But, this is boxing. And Daniel is... I'm not sure if Daniel's doing all the intellectual heavy lifting to advance his own career. He's got people around him and promoting him and managing him and advising him. I'm quite certain that Daniel would, fight anybody. But the people who are sort of behind the curtain, if you like, I wonder what sort of conversations they are having. We as fans don't know. It just seems so darn convenient. I mean, I saw Boxing King Media, I think. They did an interview of Dubois. It was his last interview before getting ill. And he seemed hale and healthy and, he was actually saying things like, I'm a gladiator, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter, this is what we do. And I found it hard to juxtapose that man who looked like he was ready to tear anybody's head off, including the interviewer, quite frankly, with somebody who's woken up the following morning and said, I don't think I can fight. I don't feel well. It doesn't seem to fit, unless he's been, like I say, been struck down with some, real bad kind of thing. But absent somebody, in a white coat with a stethoscope around their neck standing in front of the camera saying, well, I've examined the patient and he's suffering from blah, 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 right? I mean, it could be something like a food poisoning or like that could really lay you low. But I find it so hard to reconcile the Dubois that was going to go and kill somebody with the, I'm dropping out. I don't know. I'd really like you to let me know what you think. I mean, am I alone in thinking this? or do you think that there is something that's sort of going on here that as fans we are missing out on? I mean, this is one of those situations where, it would be nice to say, totally taking this at face value, wish him a speedy recovery. Thankfully, there's a fight going on, and we look forward to seeing Daniel when he's fit and ready. It would also be nice to be able to switch on the news and say, I saw it on the TV news, so it must be true. Or I read it in the newspaper, so it must be true. Or I saw it on, here, there, or somewhere else, so it must be true. But of course, we live in a world where we don't think we can probably say that with any great degree of confidence anymore. And I'm just wondering, is there something going on here that we as fans are not aware of? Is there, if you like, a bigger picture? Please let me know what you think. Please hit like if you like this video. Please subscribe. Please take part in the discussions we have online here. And most importantly, have a lovely day. I will see you tomorrow when, hopefully, fingers crossed, there's no more drama now. The last thing I want is to wake up tomorrow morning and find that we're losing another fight or something else has happened. Let's just get through the weigh-ins nicely, and then we have a great day sitting in front of our TVs or our devices on Saturday watching a really good boxing card unfold. Okie dokie, that's all I got for the moment. Talk to you next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.